because there's one, and it's right here. Came from Gloucester yesterday. This is literally the only snow report that I got. So, hey, Gloucester, thank you for that one. 0.1 inches, a tenth of an inch here, and that technically does qualify as measurable snow. So congratulations, Gloucester. You have seen your first measurable snowfall of the year. For just about everybody else, it was more rain than anything else, and you can see most of us, as expected, on either side of the inch here. You can see 1.18 inches in Cumberland, 1 inch on the dot in Glendale, and then down to 0.8 of an inch as we look down to New Bedford. Either way, it was kind of a soggy, uncomfortable day yesterday, and the last of our moisture is moving away off into the Atlantic. Really not going to bother us today, but I will say this much, considering there have still been a couple raindrops, a snowflake or two overnight, and we had so much wet weather yesterday. Be careful on the roads, especially in northern Bristol County and northern Providence County, where we may have some issues with some icing. So just really be careful behind the wheel. Otherwise, it's a beautiful sunrise. We're off to a gorgeous looking start here on the Providence Skycam. In terms of the numbers, most of us on either side of freezing. That's where I say, again, location dependent. Be careful as you get out there. Smithfield, for example, just below freezing at 31 degrees, just above at 34 in Providence, 33 right now in Westerly, and 35 for Newport and New Bedford. Hour by hour showing you that as we move through the day, we don't warm up all that much. Most of us in the upper 30s and low 40s. I'd say 40 degrees is just about the number. With the sunshine, it'll feel nice at times, but with the breeze, it might be a little rough at times too. So just make sure you're bundled up for a day that will feel like it's in the mid 30s, despite the numbers looking like this in the afternoon. High temperature for Providence, 40 degrees on the dot, 39 for Smithfield, 41 for Taunton, Newport, and Block Island as well. Forecast overnight. Not too bad, relatively calm, clouds around and temperatures back down into the 20s. Again, a cause to just take it easy if you have to drive late or even early tomorrow morning, considering that potential for a little leftover icing. And then as we move through the day tomorrow, things are going to get a little interesting. Now, it's not a blockbuster of a day. Once again, we're right around 40 degrees, and you'll see some clouds come in the middle of the day in the afternoon. And that's because we actually have a cold front coming. But this cold front, it's kind of weak. There's not a lot of moisture here, and there's not a ton of energy either. It's just switching into a cooler air mass, which if you're saying, oh my gosh, it's going to get even cooler than this. Yes, it is. Just wait for that one. You can see here on Futurecast, though, we might be able to just wring a tiny bit of moisture out of the air, considering how cool it is. Remember, warm air can hold on to more moisture than cold air can. So as things cool off, we look at the potential for a flurry, maybe a little drizzle as we get down toward the coast tomorrow afternoon, but that's about it. Now, here's where things get colder. Yeah, 30 degrees for the high on Friday. Brace yourselves. That's more than 15 degrees below average for this time of year. So it is really cold considering the time of year that it is. 40 as we get toward the weekend, that's really the number I'm looking at here. But then after another front passes, we're back down into the 30s as we start next week.